Hello and welcome to the Music Men Podcast. I'm your host, Oli, and this is my co-host.
RJ.
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/gun_daddy. And all my social media you can find in my link tree, which is the same, gun_daddy. Where can we find you, RJ?
I've got Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. It's all just RJ's Music Review, all one word.
Cool. So for today's album, we are listening to Roadrunner New Light, New Machine by BROCKHAMPTON. Dropped today. Yeah.
Super excited for this album. Big anticipation.
What do you think this album's gonna be like? What are you expecting from this album?
It's kind of hard to expect like exactly, because I think that Brockhampton likes to throw kind of a loop in every new album that they have, besides like the Saturation series. Since then, they went from that to Ginger, which was a huge change. So, I mean, I'm expecting good quality music. I just want to see kind of where they're going from here on out.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely expecting a lot of like vocals, like singing wise, because they're known for that. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a few good like rap songs. Like I saw that they added what's it called? Where is it? Bankroll with A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg. And
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, they released that on their YouTube only album as well. And so I heard, like, I don't know if that's the full song, but I've heard a snippet of it and it's a solid song. So I know there's definitely
really?
gonna be...
I still haven't gotten to listen to that.
Yeah, no, I listened to it and I downloaded some of it. And if it's anything like that song, it's going to be a solid album.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm excited.
All right, let's get into it. First song, Buzzcut, featuring Danny Brown.
Who let the dope boys out? Thank God you let me crash on your couch. Who's my God that I'm praying to now? Early 2000s, they try to jump me in, Latino protection. Any direction, you gave me your blessing. Texting, I text him, I told him I got him. Told him I made it to Hollywood. All that took was a summer to fail. A platinum record not gonna keep my black ass out of jail. Super fails, this is real. Miss my brother, I love my mother. Drove all the way to Cali just to check up on me. Made her go home, felt the virus. Whether life is my weed, false dreams, stripped by silence. Cause they had that time for years that had me blind. Think I had the heroin to think about what I do shine. Got my cousin doing time, he was barely pushing down. My whole family cursed, now get the fuck on my ride. Get the fuck on my ride. Get the fuck on me.
There's no shit, guess my ignorance.
Get the fuck on my ride. So get the fuck on my ride.
I tend to say shit to get these motherfuckers shit.
You niggas ain't out for your NCLs, normies ain't a part of the script. Back your house with crips, pop shit, now you got content. Constant, where to begin? A veteran with medicine pen. Let them all in, treat them like they next to my kin. Checking your chin, way before the record begin. Niggas blow it out of smoke like they breath in the wind. Ain't no pretend, tell you how it is, how it go. What do you know? When you start escaping yourself, right on the street, walking the beat like Abbey Road. Truth be told, no such thing as real nigga mode. Through the lights, camera, action, glamour, glitters and go. Unfold the scroll, plant seeds to stampede the globe. No peace on the street, so I'm clutching my heat. Gotta watch Fuddy Savages roaming the street.
Get the fuck out my ride.
Yeah, nigga, we back up in this style. Get the fuck out my ride. Yeah, new machine. They said I never ever see the sun.
Sometimes it drives me crazy.
That's all I got for you.
That sunlight, it'll drive you crazy. What is God to you niggas?
Goddamn, motherfucker,
All right. All right. Even though we've listened to it before, first impressions.
I mean, first listen through, I kind of have a hard time with Danny Brown's voice sometimes. But
I
as I've
agree.
listened to it more and just hearing it in this setting, like to start the album, it's such a good start to an album. Like, it's a song that you can bump to. It's a song that there's lyrics to. The production is sick. Danny Brown's voice always is just unique and kind of awkward, but in a good way. Yeah, I really liked it. I think it's a great start.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on Danny Brown's voice. Like, his lyrics and like his segment is incredible, and I don't think anybody else could rap that the way he does. But his voice just kind of gets in the way sometimes. But nobody could do it without his voice, right? Like, it's his special brand.
For sure.
Yeah. So just from that song, I can already, I guess, sense hints of Ginger, in the way that like Saturation was all like, this is the song, and it's gonna start and end like this. But this song, as soon as Danny Brown stopped rapping, it switches, and they did a lot of that in Ginger.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think that I need to do like a re-listen to Ginger in comparison to this after I've listened to it. Just because it's been a minute, because I didn't spend too much time on Ginger, but
But was there nothing else to that?
oh, that was the end of it. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the end of it. You'll learn that I end sentences with "but," and it's just, that's all.
You just fucking leave me in suspense here. I'm like, ooh, what's next?
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
like I said, that ending. I'm not the biggest fan of when songs do that. Like, I like when it's a complete song. I don't like the whole change up kind of aspect of it. But I can respect it if it's done well, and I think it's done well, that song, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other thoughts?
I think that's it from me. I'm excited to see where this album goes. If it's like that, then I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to song 2.
Excited for this JPEG Mafia feature.
Go ahead, throw a chain on, nigga. Tell them boys where you came from, nigga. Tell them boys why you stay up late. Tryna say something, nigga. Tryna say, go ahead, throw a chain on, nigga. Tell them boys where you came from, nigga. Tell them boys why you stay up late. Tryna say something, nigga. Tryna say.
Fifth string, young Peggy Ringo. Slick with the ink, these melodies need Duolingo. Same size as Dua Lipa, where the fuck my pen go? Second fiddle to widows, you feel like Eddie Winslow. Street fighter like Birdie, keep a stick like Relento. Did you win if your purpose is just perfect potential? Did you live up to it, is you doing the minimum? Used to get 50 views, now they need Peggy's momentum. Let's check the addendum. Switch the code, I'm speaking prophecies like that's a raven. Bald-headed with lil status, I feel like Maven. But I be dressed like Raven. Up in the studio slaving. Wanna hot Peggy be wait. Wanna hot Peggy be caking. I be easy baking. My oven stay prepped and ready for the heat to take it. Niggas done took this road and failed, they ain't have proper placement. Some of you niggas don't look well, this Peggy make you hate him. Is that how I make the beat sound like poltergeist? And when my homies bring my name up, is it breeding spite? It's all talent, perfectly balanced, young Supreme Kai. Who am I? Wake up every morning like it's do or die. No surprise, Zeus get jealous when you cut the ties. Living lies, Lance Armstrong at the finish line. Give it time, when we catch them cops on cam, I don't need 6 seconds, you remember Vine. It's nasty.
Go ahead, throw a chain on, nigga. Tell them boys where you came from, nigga. Tell them boys why you stay up late. Tryna say something, nigga. Tryna say. Go ahead, throw a chain on, nigga. Tell them boys where you came from, nigga. Tell them boys why you stay up late. Tryna say something, nigga. Tryna say.
Hanging from a chandelier in Babylon. We don't believe in white gods, they getting rattled on. Been in the belly of the kingdom, you can't tag along unless you got war on the mind to get the shackles off. You can't ignore the karma when it's flames across your lawn. We checking corners, so make sure our lanes don't come across. See word from Marvin, couldn't sue me from what's going on. Moving through the system, sprinting through a marathon. We don't get second chance, and they don't need a reason now, so I don't let them plan. When I've been fighting for the truth, I bring some extra hands. Cement inside my gloves to knock this shit into the fan. Put that on everything I love. It's been a minute. Had to flip it in my blood to be a stack. Had to handle other business. Ain't no riddles. It's a fact. If you see me and my energy ain't really trying to chat, that's the generations charging the battery in my back. See, I'm fueled by the culture, driven by my ancestors. Body just a vessel, brain tapped into the answers. Tried to see me on the CCTV, couldn't scan them like the cereal was scratched off on the barrel of the brand. And I've been 10 toes down with the city on my shoulders. You got no idea how that weight can make you colder. Screaming free my niggas till they free, it's never over. Spirit said it's time for me to really be a soldier now.
Cash moves everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
All right.
All right.
First impressions.
You start on that one.
Okay. I fucked with that song heavy. That was really good to me.
Me too.
I like how simple it is. Like, it doesn't seem like they did much with the
Yeah.
vocals. Like, it doesn't seem, there wasn't much, there was a lot of production behind it, but not a lot, if that makes sense. Like, it was well produced, but there wasn't too much put into it. And I really like the simplicity of it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, it's produced well, but there isn't, like, it's not overproduced.
Yeah, absolutely. You?
So I loved it. I think that JPEG starting the verse off in the front, I was like, oh, okay, this is just like something he thrives over. One problem I always have with JPEG Mafia's music is that his production choice is kind of janky and weird. And it's kind of like an offbeat rap with most of his albums. But when he's rapping over a beat that someone else made, this was just like super top tier to me. I think both the verses were fantastic. Only part that I started to get kind of annoyed of at the end was with the production, the simple like dum 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 dum. I think that it started to get a little bit like tasking on my ears for some reason. But besides that, I think it was really good.
I can see the tasking on your ears part. That's definitely you're either super with it or you're super not in music. Like, cause I've known just from producing my own shit, like, if you have something like that, like, it's going to repeat every 4 bars. It's either going to get really annoying or you're going to be able to deal with it with what's over it, right? So with that, like, it's definitely like you have to be down with that or you're not at all and it's going to bother you by the song.
Yeah, for sure.
But it didn't come out as bothering to me, but good to see that it came out to somebody.
Yeah, no, it didn't like bother me too much. I just was getting kind of annoyed towards the end. I still think that the rapping totally makes up for it. That's definitely one that'll land on my playlist.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's already added to mine. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it after.
Yeah, fair. Side conversation. So I've never really heard of JPEG Mafia, and from what I have heard of theirs, the only thing I understood, which I am completely wrong as I can tell, is JPEG Mafia is like what I thought they were is like J-pop.
Oh, no. I could I could see where you would kind of get that from the name and not knowing much about him. But he's a very experimental and kind of social justice driven rapper who also is just like, I'm trying to think of a comparison, but you really can't compare him to anyone. He's very in his own lane, and he has such a strong cult following that's built up over the last couple of years.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, because I've seen his name a few times. Like, I forget where, but I saw him on one song that I didn't listen to, and then he was on one of the Gorillaz songs, and I like that song was nothing.
Yeah.
At least I don't remember it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
from what it
couldn't
was
say that
like super high pitched, like something. That's mainly why I thought it was like J-pop, K-pop, whatever. It's because from what I remember of that song, it was
if
not
that's
good.
your first exposure, then yeah, no, that song was garbage.
Yeah.
That album was a struggle.
Yeah, that was an L for the group.
Yeah, coming from a big Gorillaz fan, this is an unpopular opinion, but it just wasn't that good.
Yep.
It's like,
yeah, that was real sad for us. Okay.
yeah, for real. Everyone else loved it. We just, for some reason, were not on board.
Yeah, no, I don't understand why it got such a big following. Like, it wasn't none of the songs.
Me neither.
Maybe
Anthony
3 of them.
Fantano gave it an 8 out of 10.
What?
Yeah, he gave it an 8 out of 10. You know how high of a score that is for him?
Yeah, I'm sure. That's weird.
Well, he gave "Ugly Is Beautiful" by Oliver Tree a 7.
A 7.
But he gave this album an 8.
Wow, that's.
"Ugly Is Beautiful" is a 10 in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely up there for sure.
Yeah.
All right, on to "Count on Me."
Another pre-release, right?
Yes. So this one is already added to my playlist. But
yeah, this one isn't. I'm not as familiar with this one as the first one, just because I've only listened to it once.
Yeah, same. All right, let's get into it.
You look so different to me. It's like you barely even. Listen. You look so different to me. It's like you barely even know me. You was missing for me. Swear I'm tired of feeling lonely. Like Phil Mob song, Trill Mob boy. She been in my A far too long, so far. Now catch the compensation, change the conversation. Dollars all I'm chasing. Ain't talking money. Fuck is you saying? Non-comprehensive. Money finish sentences. No, I ain't sensitive, nigga. Just highly offended.
It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. I know that it'll be okay. You ain't even need no money, you can count on me. It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. I know that it'll be okay. You ain't even need no money, you can count on me.
Now fake the phone. She say I pour too much in my cup. For the opposition, plus I'm still riding with it tough. They say I should change the way I'm living, but just can't get enough. Still be quick to up that chopper on this block and hit them up. My little brother don't come home, turn over in my total, we gon' live it up. Can't do shit but pray for J-Ron, cause that nigga don't give a fuck. Not at all, nigga. Had my back against the wall, nigga. Mama told me I see it all, nigga.
Yeah, who love you at your lowest to lows? I know, I mean, I'm in the backyard drinking I need. That smoke coming out of my teeth. I'm good, I got my green. Sitting back sipping ocean breeze. I don't got a baby ass some boys. All that hating turn out white noise. Tryna get red carpet fly. I don't flex my life, I don't lie. Treat life like I might die. Don't like myself sometimes, but I bet that come with time. Ever feel like your head got screws, a little bit loose? Goddamn, give a fuck if I lose. Ain't no fool, you got deja vu. I'm a man, I'm a dog, I juice. Just know I'm fucked up too. Talk like you gotta figure it out, and I wish I did too.
It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. I know that it'll be okay. You ain't even need no money, you could count on me. It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. It'll be okay, no matter what they say about us. I know that it'll be okay. You ain't even need no money, you could count on me. Count on me. Count on me.
All right.
First opinions.
So it does still kind of feel like a first opinion just because I wasn't so familiar. But I really liked it. I definitely think that the first two I liked a little bit more, just because they were more my vibe. But this one is definitely a little bit different than those. Has a singing chorus, not bad vocals by whoever was singing in the group. I'm not sure of all of their names. I'm not
There's
super
way too
educated
many
on that,
to.
so you've got to help
Yeah,
me out there.
there's way too many.
But yeah, there's so many. But I mean, the vocals were good for people who pride themselves as rappers mostly. Um, I think that the production was good. I like the little whistle sample that they have throughout the song. It's not too much, but it definitely brings it to where it kind of has this just like relaxed vibe to it. I like the flow switch ups on all of it, and yeah, I think it was pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely a lot of good flow switch ups and a lot of good flows just in general. And with that, yeah, there's I think 13 guys in Brockhampton, and I think 6 or 7 of them mainly do the rapping. And they're all like unique. They all have their own talents and everything, but there's just some points where you can't be too sure of who actually it is singing.
Yeah,
because they all have their own
one
like
person that
incredible
I
things.
could
Say again.
Yeah, the one person that I could always tell who it was in Brockhampton was Amir Van, and he's not there anymore.
Yeah, Amir Van.
But,
Amir Van.
He was the one.
Amir Van, Merlin, and Joba. You can usually tell, but the rest of them, like, they're similar enough that you can't always be sure.
Yeah, and I love Kevin Abstract's like solo stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
his he's definitely a big fit in this team as well.
Yeah. As you were saying, or I guess you said something about these guys call themselves rappers. I believe that's the one thing.
They mostly pride themselves as rappers.
Yeah, I believe that's the one thing they like didn't want to do. That's why they call themselves a boy band. But yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, they are rappers. Like, most of these things come out and they're in the hip hop and rap category. Like,
yeah,
they are good at the other types of music, the other genres as well, but they are, in general, rappers.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, as you were saying with the whistle, I really enjoyed that, and it was very like melodical. But there was a part in the middle of the song where you could barely hear it, and there's just that part of me that's like, if it's like that, either use it or lose it. Like, you can barely hear it in the background, and that bothered me more than I enjoyed listening to it, because I was focused on that more than I was the lyrics and like the actual vocals. So use it or lose it. Personally,
for sure.
Brockhampton is very. I shouldn't say that. Brockhampton has a lot of music that's slower, and a lot of it that's focused on like vocals and singing. Like, we're getting away from where they're actual rappers and getting into more pop kind of music. This is one of those songs that's a bit slower. And with Brockhampton, usually for me, like,
for sure,
those songs I don't really listen to, I don't like. But this one is done very well, and I could add this to my playlist. Absolutely. It's added, actually. Yeah.
For sure. I think that's a good take on it, because I'm the same way. I mean, I have a lot of different like tempos on my playlist usually.
Yeah.
So I can go from being like super slow to being like super upbeat and fast. But usually with Brockhampton stuff, I have been a big fan of the slower. But yeah, that song was definitely something I'm pretty sure it is actually on my playlist already in it.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, they did a lot of that on Ginger, and a lot of it on Iridescence. Or is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Their blue album? Yeah. Iridescence, yeah. They did a lot of the slower like singing stuff, and that's why I didn't download much from those albums, because they were good, like, don't get me wrong, but they just weren't my style. This song gets both of those together perfectly.
I totally agree. Ginger and Iridescence both weren't exactly my vibe from Brockhampton, but yeah, this definitely transcends those.
Yeah, and they weren't bad projects, they just weren't our vibe.
Yeah, just not for me.
On to the next.
Yes, sir.
All
I'm
right.
excited for this one.
Yeah. Bankroll, ASAP Rocky, and ASAP Ferg. Let's do this. Okay. First thoughts? Want me to go first? You're muted, Chief.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Okay. So, on technical difficulties, their YouTube released album. Like I was telling you before, at the end of it, they have like 9 or more, I think, like snippets of songs. And they had one with ASAP Rocky called Bankroll, and they had one with ASAP Ferg called Function. And from what it sounds like, is they put those 2 songs together and made it into one song. But I think they did it in such a bad way that that song didn't really connect with.
I 100% agree. I couldn't tell if it was just because my thing was lagging or like if it was just like being kind of weird, but I mean, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
Like it definitely felt like 2 separate things that they just kind of tried to like smash together. It's kind of like with I can't remember. There was a superhero movie that they talk about, like, they recorded it at like different times with different directors, and so when they put it together, it was just terrible because there was no vision.
Yeah.
There was no one person's vision, and that's exactly how I felt during this whole song, which is sad because I think A$AP Ferg's opening was good. I think A$AP Rocky's voice, of course, is always iconic, but yeah, I mean the production and just like all the changes and stuff, it definitely didn't land for me.
Yeah, it was rough. And especially you have A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg featuring on a song, but you're gonna let the main part of the song be sung by Merlin. Like, no hate to Merlin, but that
like,
just wasn't a good ad.
Yeah, like, yeah, it definitely didn't fit. And with two powerhouses like that, you kind of have to let them shine a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely could have used them more, and I think it could have been faster. Like, raise the tempo a bit. Yeah. And then, what was I? Oh, right. A lot of the ad libs were just super out of place. Like, they all seemed like a beat off.
Yeah.
Beat off.
Yeah, for real. Like, good one. I noticed it too. It wasn't something that stuck out to me per se, but it was something that just kind of like bugged me the whole time. Was that there would be the perfect time for the ad lib, like the empty spot where you'd throw in a yeah or an A or whatever you want to do, but it would go blank and then the beat would start and then it would be like yeah, and you're like, okay, like that was completely unneeded. Like you
had your chance and you missed it.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a case of COVID studio, I think. People recording in different places.
Yeah, true.
Because you can definitely tell.
Yeah. And I'm a strong believer in, I guess this doesn't really work, but in film, what they'll say when shooting is fix it in post. And as a fucking editor, fix it on set is what I will scream at fucking people. And so this seems like a case of fix it in post, and they couldn't really do much. So fix it when you're, because that could have been 10 times better than it was. I think I'm still gonna add it because it's like good.
100%.
It's a good song to like chill out to. Like it's relaxing enough that I can turn it on and ignore it, but have some music in the background.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not one that hey, somebody turned this song on.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm not asking Alexa to play that song.
Yeah.
It'll come on in the rotation, but not for me.
Yeah, exactly. Another side conversation. I thought Ferg left A$AP and or was removed from A$AP.
I'm not sure actually. To my knowledge, he was still part of the crew. I think the A$AP mob has kind of split up just in general. But I don't remember anything specific about Ferg, but I also just have like the worst memory, so you might be right.
Yeah, because I thought I heard like a big controversy about it is because like Ferg got kicked out for something, but they didn't kick out their other buddy who was like a convicted rapist or something, or he did some super fuck shit.
Oh, I did hear about that. I heard about the guy who did some fuck shit, but I didn't hear about like Ferg being involved. So I like kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, Ferg wasn't involved in that. It was later that Ferg was kicked out, but everyone was mad because they're kicking Ferg out for nothing when that what happened with their other guy.
This person should definitely be kicked out. Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Okay, for sure. We'll have to look on that.
Yeah. Ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this one is The Light, which looking at the bottom now, there's The Light and there's The Light Part 2. There's two parts to this song, just later in the album, at the end, actually. Yeah, fuck. All right, let's try it.
I'll keep that in mind going forward, that this might be kind of unfinished.
Yeah.
I give my mom some in the same house my dad died in, all alone. Trying not to be paranoid, trying not, as they're calling it. So every headline is a reminder that the world's fucked. So I'm just trying to see the light in between the clouds. Still love that sunshine.
When I look at myself, I see a broken man. Remnants of my pops put the Glock to his head. Nothing ever go as planned, couldn't make amends. Forcibly pretend I don't give a damn. At a loss, aimless, 6 feet deep, suffocating. Can't face it, can't change it, ain't make it. Master plans by the maker, I see no savior. Morbid reflection in stainless steel. Alcohol and pills, deadly combination. Left with nothing else to feel. A floral haven, hope it was painless. I see you in the faces, places, am I making? Reflections off a broken mirror. Fragments of my fear glaring back like who's there? I can't stand myself beside myself, I see you there. I know you care, felt numb since September when I heard the news. What I do to speak one last time. Think I always will be haunted by the image of a bloody backdrop. Cold fragments in the ceiling. Felt your presence in the room. Heard my mother squealing. Master of disguises. Ash to ash, dust to dust. Voids behind my eyelids. Blacking out, bleeding out, silence. Louder than a twisted tongue lying. As sick as our secrets. Shadow people and needles fading through a peephole. Bedtime stories from purgatory. I miss you. For the record, I can fly around the world, absorbing light. Something's missing deep inside. Something changed in Texas. Guess I missed the message. Look, I missed my exit. I'm living like a Jetson. I was broke and desperate, leaning on my best friends. Only shot collars I was around was bartending. Ain't no love in this game, I'm out. This is not tennis. Take your shoes off. We just did the carpets. I could take the hating, I could take the praising. It's all noise to me. I'll turn into singing. Y'all stuck in the matrix. Red pill, blue pill, all these different faces, all these different cases. Shit, y'all done see me naked. So I'ma wear what I want now, and I ain't finna fake it. Thank God I made it. Thank God I seen God last summer. I was standing on the bridge. I see all y'all under me. Know you're struggling. Niggas out here juggling. Losing jobs, we're losing God, and everything is tumbling. Feel heaven rumbling. The rapture is coming. I love the attention. I'm a bastard in public. I still struggle with telling my mom who I'm in love with. Subtleties in between where these diamonds gleam. When Thanksgiving come around, I still don't see them. When Christmas come around, nigga, I still don't see them. So the world who I was before I got to know Ian. To give my people money in exchange for their freedom, I would give it all back for a chance to freedom.
All right. First impressions.
All right. So first off, those last 3 seconds, the auto-tuned vocals sounded like a goat. Got real confused. Second, that song was heavy, especially compared to the rest so far. I feel like the rest have been kind of like, you know, they've got lyrics, but it's more like about the kind of listenability, the quality of it. Yeah. That song, off the jump, he's talking about his dad who's gone. He's talking about, you know, his struggles with his mental health, with drug addiction, with everything like that. And all talking about this without making it, this is going to sound insensitive, but I think a lot of stories like that can become boring really quick, at least to listen to. When you're like, you know, there's a difference between being able to listen to it in the car and listening to it by yourself when you're trying to take that in. But I think that this song kind of had a good mix of that, where like it's really like heavy and it's a dark like story, but it also has kind of like the little bit of like an upbeat guitar, and like the tempo goes up as the song goes on. And we see that kind of push it towards the end, where the end is kind of sudden. It's like there's like a big, it's kind of like at the end of a rock song where it's just like the big like, nah, like with the guitar.
Yeah.
And So I do think that the guitar did get a little overbearing sometimes and took over some of the production. It took a little bit away from the soul of the song and like what they were saying in their lyrics. But I think that it was a pretty good track.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, where do I even begin? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was definitely not expecting that song from the rest of the album at all. But I don't think it was unwelcome, I guess to say. Like, 'cause I thought that was a solid song. I guess like the only thing I can get really docket points for is a little bit of overproduction. Because I don't know if you're getting the same audio I am, but I can hear like when they balance it left to right and everything. So the guitar was always in one ear and the lyrics were always in the other, and the crashes and everything, and that just kind of bothers me because it's just like uneven then. Like it's okay.
Yeah, it makes
to
it
me.
kind of jarring.
Yeah, like if it's like a 4-note solo where it's like do near near near, and you do that like different ears per note, like that's cool. I can deal with that. But if it's the whole song where it's one side and one's the other, that kind of bothers me. Oh, we lost you. Oh. Okay, we're back.
Yo, what happened?
Your camera just shut off for a second.
What?
I think you just had bad connection for a sec.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that song. From what I believe, that was Joba and Kevin Abstract, and those are like two like other strongest rappers I think they have in this group. And I think they did that song justice, and I think they did it really well. And I get what you were saying about being able to play it in the car or listen to it by yourself. Like that's definitely it. But I think if you kind of avoid the lyrics, I think the guitar was like just the guitar and the beat mixed well together. And I think I could listen to that at any time and just not focus on it. Okay, on to the next song. You ready?
All right, for sure.
All right, this is Windows featuring So Gone, So Flexy.
Okay, don't know who that is.
Yeah, okay. It's 6 minutes long. Okay. All right, here we go.
Shit, I was just talking about just that grind, the trenches, just, you know what I'm saying, just all that. I mean, you don't get the vibe of it.
Feels good to get this shit out the mud. Nigga made it from hard times and still love for the slums, nigga. We rob niggas just because, nigga. And I serve you anything but none less than a dub, nigga. And how I feel to be a dub, nigga. I'm tryna be a better man, but none less than a thug, nigga. I kill shit, just check my background. This murder gang shit, my campground. Check my resume and ass ground. Yeah, we just simply never back down. Nah, I caught a charge, now I'm back out. I bet this carbon blow is back out. We getting money, that's a fact now. Bitches, they don't know how to act now.
The poem up polite, but the floor not nice. No. Watch for your wife, I might take her out your life. You know, she wet my white tee, now it's like a wet wipe. Wet it. Respect my drive, I'm a dog like Mike. Get it at me like a check, but my name not Nike. Bitch, my number not a lottery. I'm like, don't even talk to me. Honestly, wouldn't fly a Melbourne to the city. No, all of these bars, bot chains, prison industry. America, did my people file and get me shopper free while I watch Washington's wooden teeth in her booty cheeks. Kings of last century was living like peasantry. I don't even like sleep. Time is the only luxury.
Sending a fuck you to your owl. I'ma ship it laminated. Got this shit straight off the lot. We ain't renting no Avis. Got the neighbors going crazy. It's me by reinflexing. I can see through your bullshit like your face was made of plexi. I can fuck around and get you sounding like I'm wanted, man. Only crap baby is the one inside the buggy, man. I'm the boogeyman. You never sleep again. Nightmares is fright filled the moment Freddie tuck you in. Stand my money higher than the former top of tidal wave. Lonely like the point, got out the key, got the isolate. Light it up, we bring the light show. Who the hell invited all they friends? Fuck if I know.
Them boy calling for you. At your window. Them boy coming for you. At your window. You better not tell no lie. At your window. You know them boys outside. At your window. Them boy calling for you. At your window. Them boy coming for you. At your window. You better not tell no lies. If they ain't coming to please, you better tell no lies.
My
fortune teller or an ATM. It's got intentions of its own, I can't even pretend. Every moment is a fight, nobody can defend. The circumstances should have never been it to begin. I watch the clock smelled as the devil dances. The chances are slim to none that you could understand this. Lost language when you can't sit. Pain camping amongst the stillborn raindrops is where I'm standing. I wake up breaking up a knife just to function. Rather be in neutral than continue to get sunken. All my niggas made it out the motherfucking dungeon. Take his been on me, but I keep running. But you bring the needle when the system is crumbling. Everybody reaching, but they really end up fumbling when they touch down. Y'all don't appreciate it, value like a bust down. My shit authentic, they can never get enough now.
That boy coming for you. That boy coming for you. You better not tell no lies and they ain't coming to please. You better not tell no lies.
I can see the eye upon me when I close mine. Drug-induced comatose leaking through me blind. The body is the temple. I invite spirits, we crack riddles and giggle behind closed blinds. Born to bleed, the brave and free. God needs they gods to feed. I breed to see defeat. Fuck police and authority. Never means nothing, I'm fucking myself to sleep. Had to take it to the streets. Capitalistic replay all society like COVID-19. Those dirty hands that feed, don't buy it. Government officials don't give a fuck about the children. What do you believe? Nothing's ever what it seems, so you can't deny it. Flashpoints and flashbangs dictate defiance. History stuck on repeat in the loop of sirens terrorizing, always lying. God damn tyrants, don't play with knives.
Sometimes it's like all or nothing. Fuck the world and all that it happened.
Sometimes it's like fuck the world and all that inhabited. Sometimes it's like
just pick me up in the fourth door. I bless the beat with smoke and rain, ash like Mordor. The warlords come and check the line for the slaughter. The envy so green it should be flying a saucer. Yeah, and when the pressure is on, they gone. Ghost ride ripping out your friends, no more so long. Snake sneaking, I'm feeling like I'm missing, but never that. I'm still here, bitch, so God's winning. Lord willing, there's no ceiling. They all pussy. Get out your feelings. Can try and run it up, but baby, I'm chilling. I'll make my money, then dip. Stay killing. Stay killing, stay killing, stay killing.
All right.
First opinions, my good man.
Okay, so that's my favorite song so far.
Okay.
The second to last verse, which I might be completely wrong, but I think that might have been the So Gone, So Flexy. Just because I didn't recognize his voice.
I think he might have been first, no? Or who was first? Because I didn't recognize who was first.
Well, I loved the first verse, so if that was him, kudos. But whoever was the second to last verse, the first, when they first started rapping, I was like, this is really jarring. It kind of sounded Hamilton-y, like, you know, rap, but not cool rap. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? Just yo, I got this. And it's like, it's not, it's kind of Beastie Boys, which
my name is Brockhampton, and I'm here to say.
Yeah, for real. And so that was kind of the vibe that I was getting. But as it went on and the beat kicked in again, his flow started to get more controlled. He started throwing some punchlines in there that I really liked, and that kind of saved his part for me, because otherwise I think Buzzcut would have still been my favorite. But yeah, I think of that song, even though I do think it's a little long-winded, especially with those last the last minute, I'm kind of like, I don't know how needed that was.
Yeah, the last minute and a half was unnecessary.
Yeah, I think that it just kind of is like trying to frame the album, kind of keep the concept going, but it definitely, that song could have been like 4.5 minutes for sure, and it would have been, better.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
yeah, I mean, I really like it. I definitely see myself coming back to that one. I downloaded it like a minute in.
Yeah, no. Yeah, with a 6-minute song, that's definitely not what I was expecting in the slightest. I like the, what would you call that? It's like a hard beat with relaxed vocals. Like you go into it thinking like, oh yeah, here we go, but then they start rapping, you're like, oh shit, okay, like this isn't what I was expecting, but it's goddamn solid.
For sure.
Like that was a really good song.
Yeah, I really liked that song.
That last minute and a half, like that's definitely a Brockhampton trope that they do often, and I usually just cut it off. Like I'll skip to the next song, or I'll even like edit the Apple Music settings to just skip it after that. But yeah, like that was a good song. I enjoyed that. I wouldn't say it's my favorite off the album, at least yet, but it's up there for sure.
What do you think your favorite is so far?
Favorite so far? I might have to keep it on Buzzcut.
Okay, sweet. So we're in agreement then.
Yeah.
I think that Buzzcut and Windows are like tied for me. I need to listen to Windows more because Buzzcut is aged really well for me these last week. So we'll see how it is in a week.
Yeah. Buzzcut and Chain On actually I think are in my top 2 currently.
Chain On.
The second one,
the
with
one
JPEG.
with JPEG Mob. Yeah, I really liked that one too.
Yeah. All right, on to the next one.
All right, number 7, I'll Take You On, featuring Charlie Wilson.
Ready?
And go.
Lift me out the struggle that I fell into, with all the crazy things that you put me through. I just need a way to keep pushing, gotta keep pushing. I'll take you on, give me time, and then all at once. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. I'll take you on, give me time, and then all at once. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back.
Dealer, somebody that gon' heat her, make her change her ways like nobody would believe. She want a drug dealer, somebody that gon' heat her, make her change her ways like nobody would believe.
Keep you by my side every day, every night. If your love is true, then just prove that it's right. No matter what you do, I need you in my life. Baby, let's do it right. Baby, let's do it right.
I'll take you on, give me time, and then all at once. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. I'll take you on, give me time, and then all at once. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. Open up your heart and I'll give in to you, until you recognize that I'm into you.
You said that you love it when I try to make you stay.
Save it for you when I'm back
Yeah,
again.
baby, I'm folding under pressure, baby. Just tell me I'm sure that I won't go anywhere. Who's gonna find out?
Just I just need a way to keep pushing.
Gotta keep pushing. I'll take you home. Again all at once. Goodbye. 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 Babe, I'll take you home. Forgive me the time. Again all at once. Don't wanna say goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
All right.
All right.
First impressions.
All right. So that song definitely was a curveball because I think so far in this album, like even though there have been like singing parts, like it is mostly like a hip hop album so far, I'd say. But this song went completely R&B, like R&B pop kind of fusion.
Yeah.
And I've been on an R&B kick lately, so I loved it. I think this is probably going to be the one that I play most, even if I don't technically think it's the best one we've heard so far. I think it's just easy on the ears. It's a vibe. I could see myself driving with the windows down to this just on a nice day and just like having a good time. I loved the production. I loved the vocals. I loved the mixing. I loved the real like soulful like R&B like runs at the very end, like when they were just kind of like when it was fading out. Yeah, I think it was really solid. I think it was a good track.
Yeah. Like you said, yeah, like the production, the vocals, just the song itself, like it was a good song. Definitely not my vibe, and I don't think I'm going to be adding it to my playlist. I expected something like this, and I expect a few more throughout the album. Because this is another thing Brockhampton is good at, is they'll have, like you said, like the first half so far has been like a lot of good like hip hop, like rap songs. And then of course they'll throw in their more pop, more musical kind of stuff. And I expected that sooner or later. I didn't expect it this late, to be honest. This late into the album. But a lot of that song to me was just kind of repetitive and a little bit boring, I guess. Like, because it felt like to me they said goodbye like at least 10 times every few seconds.
Yeah. That's a very R&B thing of just like there's kind of one word specifically that's like they kind of stick on it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's definitely, I did notice that as well. The goodbyes got a little old, but I think that just the production and the vocals like brought it back for me. But I totally see where you're coming from.
Yeah, it was definitely well done. I did get a lot of like young Justin Bieber vibes.
That might be why I love it. I'm a big believer. You know what I mean?
God.
all about the Biebs.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, that's all I could hear through a lot of the choruses. It's just like it sounds like a different take on an old Justin Bieber song.
Honestly, I can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. And again, like it wasn't bad. It's just definitely not my style.
Yeah. Just not for you.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
On to old news. Featuring Baird.
All right. Ready and go.
I did this all for you. I did this all for you. One more I gotta prove. The games you put me through, they're all so old me new. I did this all for you. One more I gotta prove. The games you put me through, that's all new. I wish it didn't like this. You started loving me a long time ago, didn't notice. Caught in the waves, couldn't contain how I feel about it. Easy to say, I ain't to blame, no other way around it. How you say you don't love me like you used to? Solitude is becoming so unusual. Old knows that you're rushing everything. That's why I'm stuck here telling you, I did this all for you. One more I gotta prove. The games you put me through, they're all
wearing me, but I bought your earrings. From the PJs, treat you like an heiress. I ain't tricking, but I got it for your hair and nails. I always treating too good, and it always fails. You an angel, I'm the one that shit the fail. Can't let go, I miss my own fairy tale.
I'm in my notebook, I'm feeling hopeful. I joined the band and didn't stop us. Turn up my vocals, still making faces at your GoPro. Like fuck the promo, I'll do the live show for once. The blue black behind my eyelids, the unheard sound. The words cracked into silence, the sun go down. No regrets, coyote baby, you can watch me out. We're just so different, you and I. Guess we both know now. Guess we both know.
I did this all for you. One more I gotta prove. The games you put me through, they'll also all be new. I did this all for you. One more I gotta prove. The games you put me through, that's all new.
Wish I knew what it meant when I said I loved you. Rips in the threads of the net I fell through. What I gotta do for you? Bet my life, paid the price, almost died. Shit was tight, for real. What a life to lose. Beautiful and tragic, it rang true. Pleasure and pain but remain. I was amazed and amazed with you. Said what I meant what I said too. If you only knew.
All right.
Giver.
Say that again.
Giver.
Giver?
First impression.
First impression. Nah.
Nah.
Yeah, no, that was not for me, man. I think nah was the best way to describe that. I mean, there were some redeeming qualities, but I think that, like you said for the last one, I'll take you on. I think that was this one. I wouldn't say is Bieber-esque, like young Bieber-esque, but I'd say this is like old Akon and like Sean Kingston-esque.
Okay.
But like not in a good way, you know? Just like heavily auto-tuned basic vocals that aren't very impressive. The production was good, as has been on all of these tracks, but that last singer, whoever that was, I don't know if you looked at the face cam at all, but I was trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that last one officially put, like, I was still holding out hope for it, but that last verse, his vocals were just bad, man. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, like they were okay. Like those last vocals were just not good. They were pitchy. You could tell he was straining in the studio, which if there's auto-tune involved, you should never know that.
Yeah.
You know, if people are mixing correctly, you should never know that. So, yeah, that one was definitely the low point for me.
Okay, fair. I'm gonna have to disagree slightly. I definitely thought it was better than the last song, honestly. I don't think I'm gonna add it, but like I think that's something I could have listened to more than the other one because there was a lot less repetition. And
I will give you that.
Yeah. I believe the last singer was Joba, and I just like Joba's voice, man. Like that was enjoyable to listen to me for what it's worth. But yeah, that could have been done better, and I could see your side with the like old Akon kind of vibes. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Very.
That is definitely how that felt.
I felt like he was about to sing a Nas at me, like nah.
On to the next one.
For sure. What's the occasion? All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
A million little pieces all add up to nothing lately. Swim within my bed sheets. It's something like a celebration. What's the occasion? What's the occasion?
I know my sweat like a loan. See this house and I home. If I could swallow my pride, would you admit when you wrong? I know it's easy to just skip it, flipping out and you gone. Maybe I wouldn't be so tested when you came from my glow. Got dinner on the kitchen table, make sure everyone know. I made my Sunday mornings feel like Friday nights. I feel like Booby Miles under these Friday lights. Ready to pounce on any pussy ass bitch come for my life. I'm tired of validation. I'm tired of wondering what the fuck I gotta do to save you. You been in this shit for years, I can't be a savior. How to speech was said on my knees I pray on. Everything I say breaking it up.
A million little pieces all add up to nothing. Maybe swim within my bed sheets. It's something like a celebration. What's the occasion? What's the occasion? I stay running from something I can't see. True colors blinding, fuck away from me. Gunning for something I don't need. I lead two lives, find me. Who's to blame, who's to say I leave? Forced to change, forced to face my seat. Break a bit, breaking in, timely. Good on my own, but I've been feeling alone. I gotta go, don't ask why. Watch the dominoes and the time fly. Either way it goes, scribble out a line. Get the picture, different from when I'm with you. A million little pieces all add up to nothing. Maybe swim within my bed sheets. It's something like a celebration. What's the occasion? What's the occasion?
What's the occasion? What's the occasion? A million little pieces all add up to nothing. Swim within my bed sheets. It's something like a celebration. What's the occasion? What's the occasion?
Okay.
All right.
Want me to take this one?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. That was rough for good reason.
Okay, continue.
Like again, like I said on the last song, like the chorus is Joba, and I fucking love his voice. Like I thought the only reason I would download this song is for the chorus. Like I think it's really done well, and I think he sounds well on it. And I love the track behind it and the beat and everything, and the production again, phenomenal. But I think all the verses and it was just so poorly done. Like that could have been so much better. And if they took that ending away, the ending made it sound like it was meant for a soundtrack.
1000%.
Which is not what you want when you're releasing a full album.
Nope.
Like if you're making that song because you know it's going to be on a soundtrack, that's perfect. You nailed it. But that was not the shot you wanted to take.
Okay. Did you have anything else to say before I start?
I mean, I guess the one thing I always harp on is, if the lyrics are off by a beat to half a beat, it ruins it for me. And again,
Okay.
Joba through the middle, he did that, and that was rough.
Okay. So I totally agree with you. At the beginning of this song, I was like, cool, I'm going to hate this song just as much as I hated the last one. And then I started to kind of get used to it and feel the vibe. And again, the chorus is what brought me in. I actually liked Joba's vocals a lot here because I think that he wasn't trying to do anything crazy with his voice.
Yeah.
And I think his voice sounds good when he's doing basic stuff that like it doesn't really take a ton of like singing talent like to go up and down, you know. I think he was pretty monotone, but it was kind of a vibe. I think that it's like a good song,
yeah,
like in that way. But like you said with the last minute, good Lord, and Lord being the specific part, because I grew up in the Mormon church, spoiler alert, and this ending, if they would have just taken out those little primary vocals out of the minute, it would have been a sick ending. I would have been fine if it was just instrumental or just Joba singing over it again.
Yeah.
But it sounded like every kids choir that would perform on Easter Sunday. Like, it was just so, like, can you hire anyone that's over 13 to sing the song? Like, I really just, that just brought it down so much for me. Like, I downloaded it halfway through because I was like, okay, this is a vibe. And I'm deleting it now.
Yep.
Because that last minute was just unbearable for me.
Yeah, the chorus got me so excited. And then that first verse, like, it sounds like, I know you can, like, it might have been the point of what they wanted, but it sounds like they just recorded him in a giant empty room and called it a day.
Yeah, for sure. I think that what they were doing on his voice was intentional, like you were saying.
Yeah.
I think that the problem for me was that half step off, or the step off that you were mentioning earlier. It was so apparent in this for some reason with the instrumental and the way that he was rap singing or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, it was just very off-putting, like almost to a Blueface level, where it's like the beat is going and you just have a good bad. It's like, bro, that doesn't fit over the beat at all. It's like he raps and then they just make a beat and throw it on there without doing any like mixing or making sure that things match.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I definitely did not enjoy that.
No. On to the next one.
All right.
When I Ball.
When I Ball, like Kobe, big rip.
R.I.P.
All right, and go ahead.
My mama said I didn't come into this world with tears. Instead, I welcome her with open eyes and open ears. Became the glue to a few things that couldn't be repaired. We saw a future in each other, blended hope and fear. Some things you don't get to decide, it's just the fate you share. I used to try to hold the weight that she would need to bear. While Stark was going on vacation for a couple years. When they came back, they needed clothes, I had no souvenirs. I pick up the phone, they calling us from correction. But nothing is wrong, it's filling my heart with questions. My mama is home, I'm following her expressions. A drop in the tone, some things that she had to mention. I nodded, I listened, she had all of my attention. But you on your own, there's gonna be some directions. I need you to follow and never make an exception. I know that she held me and wished I would be protected.
You always used to tell me I can be anything I wanna be. But it's hard to see, it's hard to be. You always used to tell me I can be anything I wanna be. But it's hard to see, it's hard to be.
On my sucker free shit, since I was a fetus. Pulling up at the dock in a Mazda 626. When my dad was tripping bad, hit the gas like car chase. Light blue in the bag, mama getting labor pain. Drop my sister at the Bose, like house was 23. Sweat dripping down the face like river running free. Dark morning with the fog pouring in and out the trees. Every moment through their eyes seem to zoom at light speed before me. She lost one stillborn tragedy.
Gritting the teeth down to the root, pain like a cavity. Holding hands like they glue, radio channel on news. Valentine's with an X up on the calendar, they knew I would be a fucking baller like them posters on the wall. A little stain could be the beauty in it all. The mist started trouble, most your luck was rubbing off. Sticking to you like Mars, you my cape, you my rock.
Forever. You always used to tell me I can be anything I wanna be, but it's hard to see, it's hard to be. You always used to tell me I can be anything I wanna be, but it's hard to see, it's hard to be. Here I go, I'm gonna spread my wings. All grown up, let go and look at me. You'll always be a part of me. Here I go, I'm gonna spread my wings. All grown up, let go and look at me. You'll always be a part of me. That's why. A part of me. 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 That's why.
All them
It's the hard knock life for us.
That explains it.
Yep.
Oh man, that was. See, I can tell what they're going for because it's like, oh, like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a baller or whatever.
Mhm.
Like I haven't heard that rap song 15 times, but I mean, it was very like old J. Cole-esque, but in all of the worst ways. I mean, it was. I'm convinced it's child labor at this point. They're just putting lyrics in front of kids and are like, sing.
I think they have certain one or two of the artists in Brockhampton that like specialize in female vocals and children's vocals. Because I don't think they bring anybody in. Yeah, like they have them sing and then they do something with their vocals, and I think they specialize. That's where they get the female children's vocals from.
Well, I mean, you know, no one wants to hear it, so they should probably put that in the bag. But like, how unneeded is that skill? What else are you going to use it for?
Well, I mean, it can be useful. Like it's been done tastefully on a few of their songs, and I know like in the Brockhampton community, like a lot of the fans like of that, like that's a staple for Brockhampton. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that wasn't my vibe. I think the rapping was fine. The instrumental was boring. The flow was slow. A bunch of adults singing like children, as you've just informed me. And that last minute again, like I think it's almost the majority of these songs that the last minute is just completely unneeded.
Yep.
And even if it fits with the song, it's just not entertaining or good in the slightest.
Yep.
Like, I don't need a grown man singing like a little girl at the end of every one of my songs.
Yep.
But just like you said, it's a hard knock life for us because that's exactly what that sounded like.
That's all I could think the entirety of the song.
I could hear you laugh a little bit before the song was even over.
Yeah, very few times.
I was trying so hard not to laugh the whole time I was smiling.
Yeah.
Because it just, oh my heavens. What are your thoughts?
I actually downloaded it because we have the opposite of what happened in the last song, which is where I really enjoyed the verses of it, at least the first like 2, maybe 3, but the chorus just kind of fucked it up.
Yeah.
But I think like you said, like slow beat, slow vocals, but I think they worked well together in their respective areas. But I think just
That's
the end and the chorus, I have to get over. And I can get over the chorus, and the end I can just skip. But I enjoyed the rest, personally.
I mean, I think that the rapping was fine. I think that like the rapping fit well with the vocal. Like I said, it did sound very like J. Cole coming up-esque, like the way that he would tell stories and stuff, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm cool with like storytelling. I'm cool with those stories, but I think that the mix was just something that I'd pretty much skip it every time it came on.
Fair enough. On to Don't Shoot Up the Party.
Brockhampton, you're asking too much, my friend.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
A bunch of white boys saying that. That's not a good look.
Well, first podcast, last podcast, you know what I mean?
Exactly. One and done.
All right. I'm ready for Twitter to cancel us. All right, and go.
All American self-hatred runs deep. White boys, all I see whenever I sleep. Niggas think these thoughts on purpose, but I knew about NSYNC, folk, cash could rule me. Colonized minds by masters and slaves.
Sorry,
they both
hold
hate
on.
niggas and like niggas the same.
What happened?
Bro, we just talked about us being the white guys that are talking about this, and the first lyric was white boys in America. We were talking about this.
Was it? I didn't even realize that.
Oh, bro, restart it.
Okay.
Okay, I won't laugh this time. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I could not hold that back. All right, and go.
All American self-hatred runs deep. White boys, all I see whenever I sleep. Niggas think these thoughts on purpose, but I knew about NSYNC, folk, cash could rule me. Colonized minds by masters and slaves. They both hate niggas and like niggas the same. Homophobic, I tried to gang bang. I tried to get laid, I had to get paid. Hopped off the ship, I land on my feet. In Corpus Christi, I got my own street. Running this shit like it's a track meet. I had to go back home, I seen too many niggas die of weed. Now get my dogs black whales, let them live well. What a miracle, we dreamed a million stories to tell. You are now tuned in, baby, to the new classic. New machine, keep the peace, keep them dancing. Don't shoot up the party, don't shoot up the party. Please, please don't shoot up the party. Don't shoot up the party. Please, please don't shoot up the party. Don't shoot up my party. Please, 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 please.
This a jam for your wins and your woes, for the people in the back standing on their tippy toes. Don't give a damn what the journalists wrote. Always dead inside like they in the catacombs. On the prowl like a lion in a storm, watching for the prey that might slit his throat. It's about time that I let your ass know y'all deserve the guillotine even more. Kiss my ass, chew my balls like it's mistletoe. Fuck that ass, get cash by the truckload. Latest album with my dogs, but the city closed. You in for a hell of a ride. This a good time, no I'm damn right. Order every single bottle of the best wine. Fuck if I know, need it all though. Dedicate this to my family in Chicago.
Stay down, I'm sorry. Stay down, you're ugly. Oh, 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 oh. People need more than money. These white people don't love me. Oh, oh, oh. Stay down, I'm sorry. Stay down, I'm hungry. Oh, oh, oh. Don't need you to love me. Fuck you, come fuck me. I know. Don't shoot up the party. Don't shoot up the party. Please, please don't shoot up the party. Don't shoot up the party. Please, please don't shoot up the party. Don't shoot up my party. Please, 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 please.
What's the issue? Why you gotta grab that pistol? Think about who gon' miss you. Never know what I've been through. What's the issue? Why you gotta grab that pistol? Think about who gon' miss you. Never know what they might do.
Don't shoot up the party. Don't shoot up the
All right.
I think we both visibly were surprised by that gunshot at the end there.
Yeah. Yo, bro, it literally was like, wait.
Hold up.
That's how you know a song has you involved, though.
Yeah, true.
So you want me to start off?
Go ahead.
All right. I really like that song. I think that song was it kind of gave me some water during like me being stuck at a desert.
Yeah, I feel that. That makes sense.
Like, because from Windows is the last song that I like really enjoyed. I liked I'll Take You On, but Windows is the last song I like really enjoyed. And besides that, these have all just been kind of like sing-songy kids singing, and it's not like the type that I like. And so I think that this was, first of all, it was back to hip hop a little bit. Also, it had a strong theme, just talking about injustices in America, of course. You know, and it really, the whole like environment of the song really immerses you, or at least it did for me. I can only speak for myself, but it immersed me. And like you said, we kind of both had a visible reaction to that gunshot. And I think it's because I was so invested in it that all of a sudden, like the leading up where he said, don't pull out that pistol.
Yeah.
And he's going on about that. And then all of a sudden you just clock. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But then it goes back into this like funky, like, you know, like production. And I was like, I don't know how to feel right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really enjoyed that song. I think that was probably, that was a good, like, that was something I needed because, you know, the album has started to go dry a little bit for me.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Like production wise, I got a lot of like a Beastie Boys kind of like grunge like feel to it, and in the best way. Like that was, I think that was really well done, and I think having the lyrics on the first two, and then going into a quieter white boy Joba going, "Hey man, don't pick up that pistol." And then like you said, the gunshot, we were both, oh shit. Like it definitely had us. It definitely had us like invested in it, and I think the message behind it like was really well done. And I think that song is really good. And it's, yeah, as you said, water through a dry spell. Like that was definitely needed for the album.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that we agree on that because that's been the first song in a minute that I've been like entertained by.
Yeah. All right, dear
entertained
Lord.
Entertained for like good reasons. The other ones I've been entertained because I'm laughing at them.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, dear Lord, here we go.
Did you press play?
Yes.
You did not let me know.
What?
You did not let me know.
Yes, I did. I said, all right, dear Lord, let's go.
Yeah, that doesn't
All right, dear Lord, let's go.
Dear Lord.
Oh.
Lord. Will you come down and help out my brother? Oh. So please, Lord, he needs you more. Oh, I want you to let him know that he's alive. So when your love shines through like the light, let him know you want him to fight. Where do I go now? So God bless you, love, healing with your light. Oh, you're praying all the time till show him to the light. Oh, ooh, hold it in your light. Oh, hold it in your light. Show him your light. Oh yeah. So when your love shines through like the light,
All right, that's enough.
Dud.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Why that was included, I don't know.
It was a cappella, no instrumental. Like that would have helped. It wouldn't have. Oh man.
To be fair,
we go from shooting up a party to praising Jesus.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
well, you gotta.
You gotta praise Jesus after you shoot some people.
Yeah, obviously. It's the white person way.
Oh man.
Okay, to be fair,
Okay.
I thought it sounded good because I've always liked Brockhampton, like their vocals. I think they work well together, and I think like they sounded well. But the song itself, like, was unnecessary.
Honestly, I think that some of the harmony sounded fine.
There were a few parts where they're like, "Oh, okay, that's happening now."
One thing that just made me laugh, I can't do it specifically because I don't care enough to remember, but oh man, they had some sort of harmony that sounded good, and then someone's like, yeah, and I'm like, that's not good,
Yeah.
man. It sounded like a meme. It sounded like someone who was making fun of R&B,
Yeah.
and it's just like, whoa, whoa, like, oh man, it was just a mix of like Miranda sings and just like Blake vapes and like just all the people you don't want to sing. It was just right there, and I couldn't help but laugh.
I noticed at one point, maybe about 20 seconds before the song ended, they definitely peaked the microphone and just left it in. Like, it got super loud and you could hear like the rumble of the peaking.
Oh man, that was a mess.
Yeah, that was rough.
That's easily the worst song here.
Yeah, which makes me glad that we got Don't Shoot Up the Party before that, because I could not have gone another dry song into that.
No shot. Some kids singing into like, yeah. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Like, oh man. All right. Well, we've got the light part 2 now. We liked the first light.
We did.
So
hopefully
Jesus,
something, I'm sure it'll be better than Dear Lord.
That is a good outlook.
Exactly.
That's a very good outlook. All right. You ready to go?
Ready.
And go.
You do it. The light is worth the wait. I promise. Wait, screaming, please don't do it. The light is worth the wait. I promise. Wait, why did you do it? The light is worth the wait. I promise. Wait, screaming, please don't do it.
Sick of these niggas giving me false info. Like I ain't grow up on MTV, Boondocks, and the Chappelle Show. Bitch, I can handle the truth. That's how I entered the booth. Look at all these bruises I got. It gave me so much confidence. Back when I was making songs at my mama's crib, the candles lit, the temperature rising. What type of man can find the right time to fly in? Especially when my cousin dying. Should've never sold my soul, should've protected all my paintings. To see the world move without you feel like a daydream. Kool-Aid stains, days wrapped around your beautiful hands. Protect me from the city, couldn't save me from the world. Back then, had Jeezy on repeat, and your whip, no peace in my streets. And these days, no license, only take the Jeep if my boyfriend is driving. Plus he got the kind of skin to make the police like him. Ever since I was a kid, I always felt so frightened. My mama from the ghetto, her vote go to any nigga that keep Jesus in the convo. Me and her just get on good terms. Thank God for them unexpected turns. Breaks her heart when she see my city burn. Thank God for teaching me how to learn, have empathy even when it burns. But I hate that you got me in this box, expecting me to see the light, see the light, see the light. All my niggas to the right. You see the light. And all my niggas to the left, right. You see the light.
When that hammer pulled back, did you think of me? You were the one that taught me how to be. Look at me now, in all my glory. Overcame a lot, that's a different story. Abandoned by the life giver. Looking back at my life different. Deep cuts in the dusk of the final gasp before your life flashed. What happens when you die? Does it fade black? I sense you in my skin and the trucker cap. Miss it when we laughed, didn't trust my intuition when I saw the cracks. I'm sorry, all I ever wanna do is make you proud. Fleeting moments, always found a way around the frown. Set aside the pain to celebrate the now. Couldn't kick me out the house, I was fucked up. Nothing to prove without doubt if I'm man enough. What's the use? I could use you, cause I'm scared as fuck. Tuck me in, always young enough to feel loved and share some. Are you looking down? Inner child reaching out, brittle bone crying out. The past does not define you. The past does not define you. The burden was too much, couldn't save you from yourself when you'd self-destruct. Couldn't save me from myself when I'd push my luck. To tell the truth, I am just like you. Left it all in the pistol that you used. Always be a little man. Following your footsteps, even though I'm mad. Even though you're gone, you live on. In the day I have kids, I'll tell them about grandpa and how great he is. And the grandkids, you'll never meet. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be. Neither would they. It's safe to say I'll find a way out the darkness. The way you left mine hits me the hardest. What a shame, things change in the blink of an eye. Fade away, fast break to the depths in the sky. Impermanence turn permanent with a nine. That's life, that's life.
Screaming, please don't do it. The light is worth the wait. I promise. Wait, why did you do it? The light is worth the wait. I promise. Wait, screaming, please don't do it.
Well,
You look so different to me. It's like-
what up?
The music video started playing, or the trailer.
Oh yeah. So I'll start on this one.
Go ahead.
I liked that song. I wouldn't put it on my playlist, but I would come back to it just to listen to the story. I think that it was super, like, we've been making a lot of jokes, but that song is like really heavy. The line that his last like punchline that he had said, "Permanents become permanent with a 9," and that was just like that bar like took me back a little bit. It was to the point where like I didn't mind that there was 35 seconds of just like, because I was like, whoa. And I think the storytelling in that one, at least compared to the first Light song, it was a lot stronger. I could see, like, I was kind of imagining things, and when he started going on about like grandparents, great grandparents, anyone who's lost like someone who's significant in their life like that at a young age, it's crazy to think about those things, and knowing that like people like us who, I mean, like, not saying that celebrities are like above normal people, but people like us who don't really have like the same platform, it's crazy to think that you can relate to people at that level.
Yeah.
You know, those people that you see on the news, the people that you anticipate albums from, you guys can feel the exact same way about something. And I thought that was really interesting, but I did really like the song.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, it's not going on my playlist, but that was definitely well done. And I think your comparison to the Light number 1 was good, but I think the Light number 1, like, its storytelling would have been better, not because of the storytelling itself, but because of the music behind it. Like, I think they would have both hit roughly the same if they were slowed down and more focused on, like this last one was, like part 2 was. Because I think that definitely helps sell it for what it was. Is the slower, like, more emotional vocal approach.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was well done. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it other than that. Good way to end an album, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. I think that after kind of the last few like duds that we listened to, like that was a strong ending to an album in the same way that Buzz Cut is such a strong start.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that this album made it from Buzz Cut, which we listened to, and it's insane. And it ended with that. Like it's the like emotional roller coaster and the ride that you go on when you listen to a Brockhampton album. And I think that that's part of their like shtick or their like niche.
I don't think it started that way, but they definitely grew into that.
I think, yeah, they definitely grew into that. And it's like, I think that's something that you can expect with a Brockhampton album, that it can go from being a song like this to being a song like that, but still feel like a cohesive album and feel like at least most of it's not out of place. Dear Lord was definitely out of place, but besides that, I think that was a strong ending.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
All right. Well, that's the whole album.
Yeah. Rating? What do you think?
Off the top, I'll need more listens to give like an official one. If anyone listening is like a fan of seeing like my like fully like thought out review, feel free to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, everything, just RJ's Music Review. But I think that off the jump, I think that if we're going off of like the first 6 songs, I was like, oh, this is going to be a strong 8. But as we kind of had that desert in the middle, I think I'm going to have to go down to a 6.
6.
Yeah.
With how much I did enjoy the first 6 songs and 11 and 10 respectively, I feel uncomfortable giving it a straight up 6. So I wanna say I give it a 7. Yeah, like 6 doesn't feel worthy enough of like Buzz Cut, Chain On, Count on Me. Like you have those in a row, and like that sets you up for a solid album just from the jump, like you said. And I think with having those like powerhouse songs plus 6 plus 11 plus 4 even, like I think that's worthy enough to leave it at a 7, but definitely no higher. Like 6.5 still feels a little rough, but I think I can call it on a 7 out of 10.
For sure. I think that part of the reason that I go towards a 6 and not a 7 is because out of the 13 songs, I downloaded 7 of them, but one of them that I downloaded, I was still kind of like, this is okay.
Yeah.
And so I kind of based it on that, along with the fact that, like you said, that it was such a hot start to the album. Like those first 3 songs are pretty much like, I mean, it's a strong opening to an album. When I saw those, like I said, I was going 8 range, maybe 9.
Yeah.
If they would have kept that up the whole album, I could have gone to 9, like a high 9.
Yeah.
But I think that I just going with like the entire album and just like the kind of rides that you take when listening to the whole thing in a row. As soon as it hits, I'll Take You On, everything just dries out, and that goes on for 4, 5 songs. Don't Shoot Up the Party is a good like middle in there, but then Dear Lord is just horrific.
Yeah.
And I think that there's still like quality to all of it. Like I said, I don't think that there's anything on here that's like badly produced. Dear Lord, I can't even say it's badly produced because there's no production. It's just kind of acapella. Like there's voice production, but
I mean, with that, like I said, like they definitely peaked the microphone at the end there.
1000%.
Yeah. So they could have fixed that. They could have redone that.
Yeah, they definitely could have. But yeah, I think I'm sitting at a 6 with more listens. That might go up, it might go down, but I guess we'll see. I'll probably have to give it a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm sitting at a comfortable 7 right now, but I feel like the more I listen to it, I might lose When I Ball as a song I enjoy.
For sure.
And
I think so too.
That I could bring me down to a comfortable 6.5.
Yeah, I think that I'll lose I'll Take You On at some point probably.
Yeah.
Along with just I'll Take You On. But also when I first listened to I'll Take You On, me and you disagreed on that one. I do think that that's one that I think will be easy to play even if I don't like love it. I think it'll be one that I like and it'll stay on my playlist like longest, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I think that overall it was pretty good. I liked it more than I liked Ginger.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it definitely doesn't even get close to stacking up to the Saturation series.
No. I think with those top 3, top 5 changing windows in the light, those do stack up pretty well to the Saturations, and like those that could have been a standalone EP and would have been high and mighty with the Saturation album.
For sure.
But as a full album, it definitely doesn't stack up to the Saturations, but it does stand strongly with Ginger and Iridescence.
For sure. I could definitely see that. I think the fact that there's 13 songs, another thing I'm noticing about it is that, I mean, Dear Lord, as we've said, can just go. Like, it has not really a place on this album.
Yeah.
I think my rating would have gone up to a 7 if Dear Lord wasn't there, just because it's in between such good songs. Because if we could have had that dry spell, but then 2 good songs to end it out, I think that would have been better. But I mean, they could have gotten rid of Dear Lord. Personally, I think When I Ball was kind of rough, but it definitely wasn't as bad as Old News. Old News was rough.
Old News was
very Akon-ish.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Akon, but there's a reason that he fell off.
There's a reason when you say Akon, you're speaking dated.
Yeah, there's a reason that when you say Akon, you think about, oh, I remember that when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Not even
2000s,
grade, like elementary school. Yeah. It's like elementary for us.
Yeah, well, that was Roadrunner.
Overall, pretty good.
Yeah.
Some
Definitely.
really high highs, some really low lows.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I'd say it's definitely more of a positive review than it is negative from me.
For sure. All right, and that, I believe that will conclude the first episode of Music Men.
All right.
I've been your host, Oli. You can find me on, as I said, twitch.tv/gun_daddy, and there you'll find all my links to everything else, all my social medias. RJ, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, every other social media pretty much under RJ's Music Review. That's RJS Music Review. And yeah, my link trees in my Instagram if you're too lazy to search everything up, because I know I am. Yeah, if you are into music and you enjoyed this podcast, hopefully we're going to keep it going and we're going to do some more collabs in the future. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay, see ya.
Peace out, yo.